Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to share with you our thoughts on specifically uranium and conversion this morning. My name is Jean-Michel Guiheux, and I'm in charge of sourcing and supply contracts within Orano mining and Orano conversion and enrichment. Our next slide is just a snapshot of what Orano is. So basically, we're covering all steps of the nuclear fuel cycle, except fuel fabrication, but from mining, conversion, enrichment, and then reprocessing and recycling of products. So we are about 17,000 employees spread over the globe. Our first item today is sharing of what we believe are the main parameters of the uranium market. And as a producer, we are very much interested in this market. We are a mining company, but we are also a converter, so we are keen on getting U3O8 in due time. And we're also an enricher. So as Sarah said, as enricher, we need also to make sure we get UF6 and we can accommodate the efficiency of our machines with more or less UF6. We are highly supportive of Euratom Supply Agency market monitoring work, and in this respect, I will maybe dedicate little time on Orano and be being more on our overall thoughts about that market. Many people today are intrigued by the rapid and sharp increase of spot prices in uranium, and probably there is a lot of, let's say, speculation or belief in blue sky in the future. But there is also an overall consideration in terms of supply and demand picture in the coming decades. The good news is that there is an increased need of the nuclear reactor fleet overall everywhere. And as Darius mentioned, the Euratom Supply Agency forecast this morning were put on existing reactors, but in our view, they will be more than existing reactors and life extension of mini reactors and SMRs. So we believe even Europe will be in a package of a growing market, and we are happy with that. A major feature for us when we look at the uranium market in the future is the increase of needs, but also there are two specifics that we would like to put your attention to. The first one is the sharp increase of demand in China. There are huge reactor fleet extension and new projects going on. And last year there were 7 reactors authorized to be constructed, and almost every year same amount of reactors is authorized to be constructed. So it's a very dynamic market. And in order to feed that market, China will need to import a lot of U3O8 to feed this market, but also to feed offshore market when there will be sales of reactors overseas with probably packaged fuel. But also China will be also a growing player in the field of conversion and enrichment, and in that case they also need to import U3O8 to feed those plants. So altogether we were given, let's say, an overall picture in Slovenia in April that approximately 30% of the world physical uranium should be directed to China in the next decade. So this is an important item in terms of competition between buyers, but also in terms of logistic flows, which can be directed to that huge market. Another interesting feature in our view is that Russia has been and is a very important nuclear fuel player with a massive enrichment capacities. and has been a EUP supplier, a major EUP supplier for many decades. And a part of the uranium, we believe, stem from historical inventories or secondary supplies, and we believe in the next decade, Russia will need also to feed with fresh uranium concentrates. So this adds to some not only demand, but physical demand and physical flows. So it's quite important. When we look at this graph that was made in the presented in the full report of WNA as a reference scenario, we can see that the existing mines, so up to the green, are sufficient to meet world demand up to 2030. But by 2040, there is about 80,000 tons of uranium of new production capacities that would be necessary to be developed. So it means that it is time now to look at the next decade and even the two next decade to see what will be the future of the market. And since 10 to 15 years are necessary to develop a new mining project, it makes sense to look very much in advance. This could explain the analysis made by physical funds having billions of dollars available for investment to invest in uranium inventory, because the perspective of higher prices is probably good, since the new mines are usually mines with a higher development cost than the old ones, which were the easiest to develop and operate. So what will do Orano in addition to the existing mines? So we are, let's say, quite active to invest in new developments in Mongolia. And last week, the president of the Republic of Mongolia visited the Republic of France and signed a partnership where the uranium mining activities of Orano in Mongolia will be secured. We are also investing in Uzbekistan, and we have also a major asset, IMORN, in Niger, I will refer to you, which will be ready to be developed next decade. This Niger IMORN project is about 110,000 tons capacity open to Orano as being, so it's about 50% of the expected output. And nonetheless, we are investing quite sharply in Canada in the Athabasca Basin. We are dedicating 10 million euro budget everywhere for exploration, and we hope that we will get positive signals so that we can discover new ore bodies within the next years that will be ready to be developed in the next decade. So our first conclusion on the uranium is that it is very exciting. There will be a lot of demand. We believe the industry will be able to develop mines. They will need a support of utilities in long-term contracts. And maybe an unknown factor is what will happen with the accumulated inventories, financed by the physical funds. So that will be in this graph a part of the pink, the last pink layer, which in our view cannot be only composed of inventory drawdown, but also in new mines, but also byproducts from multi-metallic mines or phosphate extraction for phosphate and other, let's say, non-usual type of uranium production methods. So for a European utility, I wouldn't be worried about the capacity of the industry to provide uranium, but I would think that we would believe it would be good to follow the Euratom Supply Agency recommendation to have some inventories and to contract long term quite in advance. As we know, we are operating in Niger, and Darius told about the coup in Niger. So we are, let's say, in Niger, we believe our main asset is, of course, the mines, but also the Orano employees in Niger. They are very good and efficient. And even after the coup, the operations continued. So the mining activity continued up to now. And the milling activity, so where we concentrate uranium, has been stopped for a couple of weeks for early maintenance activity. And in the meantime, we have found additional reactive on the Niger market stemming from other mines. So we are now, let's say, resuming some milling activities until we exhaust our inventory of reactive. Production in July and August were above target. So basically, we have full drums of ready to be dispatched uranium drums, and as long as there is a blockus on the border, so of course those drums will remain on our site. But we believe that this shouldn't be too long. We are always optimistic as a mining company. What we had also discussions with the de facto authorities, and the global partnership agreement that we signed in May 2023 with the former authorities remain valid, and this paved the way for Orano mining activities in Niger for the next 10 years. Continuation of Somalia, remediation of Cominac, social commitments, and also development of IMORN project, where we are developing two types of technologies, in situ leaching and open pit operations. So that's our point on the uranium, and maybe we can shift to the next slide, which is on conversion. So we must acknowledge that in conversion, we are quite happy that now we have less, let's say, technical issues. We were a little bit worried that our ramp up, which is taking place at a more slower pace than we thought, but the production has continued to progress from 21 to 22, and this year, we believe that our output will be slightly lower than 11,000 tons, reaching to a nominal capacity of 15. We do have on our site in Malvézy about 2 full years of production in terms of concentrates. So basically, we are not, let's say, impatiently waiting for concentrates. We can operate on a smooth way. Our first focus as a converter is to finalize Philip cost ramp up. And when we look at the overall market situation with the resuming of operations of Corvadine and the new project, the new project that has been presented by Westinghouse in the UK, that would put in line additional capacity in Europe, we believe the market will be well balanced in terms of conversion, at least in the next decade. So in our case, we are often asked the question, do you intend to invest in added capacity? Basically, our business case is quite simple. We still have some conversion products to sell before the end of this decade, before 2030. And after that, we have substantial quantities. So basically, it would be for us premature to think of any extension. We prefer to fill up our existing capacity and then to discuss with our customers to check if there is a need to expand. The Philip cars capacity, basically, from our viewpoint, will be a major contributor to security of supply in Europe. Although we are expanding in enrichment, we may have, let's say, more needs in France than we originally thought. But this plant will be very much dedicated to the security of supply. That is the most important issue today. And as far as the enrichment on the next slide is concerned, so we will not dedicate too much time. Thank you, Sarah, for the presentation of Urenco. So in our case, we are smaller than Urenco, but when you are small, you can be active. So we have been awarded by the Orano board last week an extension of 2.5 million SWU. So this will add to the 7.5 already. So we'll have 10 million SWU available for our customers. Our time frame is to start up production by 2028, with a ramp up of 2 to 3 years to nominal production of by 2030. And we will be relying on the very efficient and industrially proven ETC centrifuges to be installed. This company ETC has been very proactive, and they have been able to restructure in order to meet the request of its two customers, which are competitors. So that's they have been very good at managing that. So we believe by, let's say, when we have this extension, I think we'll be able to provide more enrichment services to European customers and worldwide customers, and that would be our contribution step by step. And then we will see more demand than we think of adjustments. So as a conclusion, we are very much dedicated to accompany our utility customers to secure the fuel procurement in all segments. You can see that finding uranium is not that easy, and basically you have to produce where it is located. So in our view, in our case, we have a lot of Central Asian sources, but we are not too, let's say, too worried about the possibility to make swaps and relocation exchanges with other converters there. So we believe that would be a contribution to the security of supply of the European market and worldwide customers. Thank you.